Ellie, what are you doing? Get down from there. Dang, dog's always trying to be the center of attention. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, well, I guess I'm still pretty new here, but whatever. If you're new here, my name's Logan. I'm a 23-year-old knife maker based out of Portland, Oregon, and I make videos on my day-to-day process and kind of what goes on behind the scenes. Now, I know that I said in the last video that I would do a shop tour next, but today is Wednesday, October 16th. And on Friday, October 18th, I will be opening up my custom order books for fixed blades. So I wanted to jump on here and make a pretty quick video just kind of outlining what that process is going to look like and some of the details that are important to know as you're thinking about buying a spot. Okay, so pretty quick video, turned out to be like 14 minutes. There's a lot of really good info in there, but don't get me wrong, I know how long-winded I can be, so I want to give you a quick, like, too long, didn't watch type synopsis, just so that you have the relevant information that you need for this Friday. So this Friday, October 18th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I will be opening up my custom order books for fixed blade custom orders. These spots will go live in the shop on my website as a digital download item. When you purchase these items, the cost of which is your deposit to be on the books. It's not the cost of the total knife shipped to you in your hand, like done deal. It's just the deposit, so be aware of that. But when you purchase this item, you'll receive a link to download a PDF that's going to have just some further instructions and a couple of links to forms to fill out and a way to contact me directly so that we can get started on the process for customizing your knife. So Friday, 6 p.m. PST. Stay tuned to my Instagram. I'll be posting more info and updates over there. I will be doing a live stream Q&A on Thursday night. So yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, whether it's an Instagram DM, commenting on an Instagram post, commenting on this video, using the contact form on my website, writing me a letter, although that probably wouldn't get here in time. Whatever ways you have to contact me, please do so. I'll try to be as on top of my communications over the next couple days while we get the books opened up. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys on the books on Friday, and let's get back to the video. So I just want to go over some of that info really quick and give you guys some insight into what you'll need to know when Friday comes around. So I'm going to post with this video a PDF on my website. The link will be in the description below. And that PDF is going to detail kind of the outlines of the custom options when it comes to ordering a fixed blade. I have a lot of different possible combination of features when it comes to ordering one of my knives. So it's kind of a balance between having too many options and allowing people to get exactly what they want. So let's dive into this PDF really quick and I'll show you guys kind of what I'm talking about. So when you open the web page with the PDF on it, you'll see it's broken down into a number of steps. And this is just kind of the way that I think about how the knives go. It kind of goes along with the process of how they're made. So we'll kind of break down the options really quick and I'll give some examples of what those look like. And then we'll kind of go from there. So jumping in and looking at step number one, there's two different profiles to choose from. Now these profiles will mostly affect the shape and look of the handle, as well as kind of the proportions of the overall blade itself. So the classic style is kind of my original set of designs. It's a lot of angular geometry and straight lines. The full size and mid size both come equipped with a glass breaker on the handle in case you need to break glass, I guess. So yeah, there's that. And then the organic side was born out of a need to have something that's a little bit more ergonomic, a little bit more snag-free. The handle size proportional to the overall length is going to be a little bit bigger in case you have gloves on or something like that. There's no glass breaker on it, so that if you're bending over when it's mounted to a belt or something, you won't jab yourself in the ribs. So yeah, kind of that more ergonomic, gear-friendly look on the handles. So moving on to step number 2, there's 3 different categories to look at for size, and this is where we start to see some of the initial pricing. So the first category is the EDC or everyday carry size. These fixed blades are around 6 inches overall length, give or take a 1/4 inch, and they're a great throw in your back pocket kind of knife where you want something a little bit more unique or maybe a little bit stronger than an average folding knife. The next size up is the mid size. These are going to range from 7.5 to 7 3/4 overall length, and they're a great hiking knife, day pack knife, a little bit larger everyday carry. This size is great to carry scout where it's mounted horizontally on the small of your back on a belt. Kind of a plenty of blade to use, but doesn't take up too much space kind of knife. So the full size is when you need just a straight up tool. They range in size from 9 inches all the way up to even 12 inches overall, and they're a great backpacking, hunting, camping, bushcrafting, do whatever you need to do kind of knife. So in this step is also where you'll see the starting price. This is the baseline of what I charge for my standard options, which you'll see throughout the rest of the PDF. The prices start for the EDCs at $300 and they go up from there. Really, the sky's the limit on how much you are capable of spending, but typically builds range from around the $300 to the $375 mark, all said and done. So far we have our handle profile, style, and our size. That has given us 6 different options for knives so far, and from here on out is when the amount of possible combinations goes through the roof. So moving on to step number 3 is choosing your overall blade style. Now, the way that I have it set up allows you to pair pretty much any blade style with any of the 6 handle options we've discussed so far, with a few exceptions. I've listed the most popular combinations with some of the limitations in step 3 in the PDF, but if you don't see something that you might be looking for, feel free to reach out and ask about it. I'm sure we could work something out. So moving on to step number 4 is choosing your steel. Now, all of the fixed blade knives that I make are full tang knives, meaning that the steel runs all the way through the entire length of the handle. So some people are super picky about what kind of steel their knife is made out of. Other people just want it to be sharp. So for the people who don't have as much of a preference, this time around I'm recommending D2 tool steel. It's a tough as nails, semi-stainless knife steel that has more than proven itself over the years. For people who have a little bit more of a stronger preference on their type of steel, I've listed some of the more available options in step 4 on the PDF, but I'll try to accommodate whatever I can. Some options, especially some steels from Crucible, are a little bit harder to come by right now. I'll do my best that I can to track them down if that's what you're looking for, but they're probably going to require a little bit more of a price increase just because that's what it's going to take to get my hands on them. The exception to this is CPM 3V. I'm going to be placing a water jet order once I have all of my books orders finalized, so if you want CPM 3V, I can totally do that. It's going to require a little bit longer lead time while I wait for those blanks to come in, but it won't take a surcharge to get your hands on some 3V. So step number 5 is where a lot of the customization or personalization in the knife build starts to happen. There are a ton of different options for handle materials, so let's dive into what some of those could look like. The standard baseline handle material is a rock patterned G10 handle scale. G10 is a super high performance, super lightweight, antimicrobial, fiberglass based laminate. It's just kind of the perfect handle material for the job. It comes in a lot of different varieties of colors, and the rock pattern provides an awesome no slip texture that looks great in my opinion. Other material options include stabilized woods, micarta, carbon fiber, titanium. Really, the possibilities are endless, but there's a few things to note when trying to customize your handle scales. You can choose to add a liner, which is a thin piece of material that sits between your handle scales and the spine of your knife to add a little bit of color. We could do G10 liners, you can do copper liners. You could do multi-piece handles, which has bolsters and or spacers involved. Really, the possibilities are endless here, so a lot of the pricing is going to be quoted on a case-by-case basis, but I've outlined kind of the general options in the PDF in step 5. All right, we're almost through, I promise. There's just a couple more things to take a look at. So step number 6 is choosing your blade finish. Now, by far, my most requested finish is the acid stonewash, but there's a couple of different options, including Cerakote, a hand-rubbed satin finish. I can also do kind of a belt finish or a machine satin finish, which is a little bit more affordable, as well as a Hamon differential heat treat. Now, the Hamon is really time-intensive and really finicky, and so there's a reason why I charge as much as I do for one, but just know that going into it. So, last but not least, it's time to choose the options for your sheath. Now, one of the most asked questions that I get is, hey, does your knife come with a sheath? Or how much does it cost to include a sheath with the knife? And I don't know where all of these knife makers are that are making knives and selling them without sheaths, but I'm not just gonna throw a razor sharp piece of steel in a cardboard box and ship it to you. Like, I'm gonna have something to protect the blade. So this is an example of the standard option. This is a fold over or a taco style sheath, meaning that the kydex is folded over the knife and there's only rivets on one side. Super minimalist, super slimline, my go-to, great option. That's the standard. Now, if you wanted to have rivets on both sides and do a pancake style sheath, I can do that as well. There's options for different colors of kydex and that kind of stuff. If you want to cover the kydex in Cordura, I can do that as well. And all of the prices for those options are listed in the PDF. Now, one option for sheaths that is way underutilized in my opinion is my buddy Bryan down at Low Tide Leather. Bryan's an awesome dude. He's an absolute hustler. His attention to detail is through the roof, and he turns out an incredible product. I absolutely love my sheaths from him, especially this axe head cover that he made for my grandfather's axe that I restored a few years ago. I love it. It's awesome. He's awesome. Go check him out. I'll link his Instagram and his YouTube channel in the description below. Go show him some love and for sure consider ordering a sheath from him for your custom order. All right, so there's a few things that I want to touch on really quick that hopefully will make life a little bit easier with the books moving forward for both you and me. Number one, the books are for fixed blade custom orders only. If you want to order a Venture frame lock, I have a completely separate spot to do that on my website with a completely separate waitlist. Go jump on that if you want to do that. Number two, I've had a few people ask me if they can order chef's knives on the books, and the answer to that is no. Chef's knives for me have been something that's been very experimental. I've given a few away as gifts. I've tested some myself, and it's just not something that I want to get into. There's a lot of guys that do chef's knives as their main gig that are honestly a lot better at them than I am, and so I would highly encourage you to go check those guys out. Number three, the books is a way to configure or customize one of my existing knife designs in terms of handle materials and finishes and sizes to your heart's content to be exactly what you've been waiting to order. What it's not is a place for a napkin sketch saying, hey, can you make this knife that I drew? Or, hey, I really like this design of yours, but can you make the handle an inch shorter and the blade 3 inches longer and do all this other stuff to it? It's not open to that level of customization because, quite frankly, I don't have time for that. If I were to deal with however many people end up on the books with those level of customizations, I'd never get a chance to make a knife. So I've tried to include as many options as I can while keeping some form of standardization, so just know that going into it. All right, now that we've worked through way too much information, how do you even get on the books in the first place? So on Friday, October 18th at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, a books spot item will go live in my shop on my website. There will be a limited number of these spots, the cost of which is the deposit for the books. Now let me be clear, the cost of these spots is not the final cost of the finished knife to your door. It's merely a non-refundable deposit that will contribute towards the final price of the knife. When you purchase the deposit, you'll receive a link to download a PDF with a form, as well as additional information and instructions on how to begin the process of customizing your knife. All right, people, that's probably way more information than you bargained for about the books opening this Friday, but I hope it helps clarify some of the process and some of the details that goes into ordering a custom knife from me. So make sure you stay tuned to my Instagram over the next couple days, as any more relevant information that I think of, I'll post over there, as well as I'll be doing a Q&A live stream Thursday night, and again, books opening Friday, October 18th, 6 p.m. on my website. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you're subscribed. If you have any questions, throw them down in the comments below and I will try my best to get back to you before the books open. And I guess I'll see you guys on Friday, and I promise the next video will be a shop tour.